Coffee Bunny. It's brought to you by a bunch of weirdos.
Hope you like chaos, because that's what we got on the menu today.
Stephanie, where did you go?
Speaking of chaos.
She's trying to get in.
Right, definitely going with a winter timer. Welcome to our chaos. Special thanks to Project Shadow for the use of the song.
Charlie.
Hello.
Hi.
It's lovely to see you. Like I haven't been chatting with you for 45 minutes already.
It was like, oh yeah, I gotta clock in.
Yeah. How are you?
Live.
Yes. I'm so glad you're alive because this would get real weird and awkward without you.
Yeah, word. Wouldn't it? Without either of us.
Mm-hmm. Just wouldn't be the same.
I'm puzzled at why. So Maggie has commented.
Wow, Maggie's on the ball. I'm still getting stuff open because I absolutely got distracted with all our fun, chaotic talk.
It's not showing up in our chat.
Oh, that's weird, right?
Yeah. See, it's empty.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it in the chat because I've got the chat little sidebar thing open too. Is Maggie
definitely on YouTube?
Maybe. Yeah, I see Maggie on YouTube. Hi, Maggie.
Oh, wait, so this is one of the things the restream does after 4 hours, but obviously it's not 4 hours. So when I say it gets weird, it will not show me the chat. Like, or it will sporadically show me the chat. So I'll have to like go to somewhere else for it. But yeah, like I opened Coffee Bunny, and like that's the only reason I know Maggie is. Hi, what are you doing? Do you want back on the heated blanket?
Okay, well, let's see.
I'm messaging in the YouTube chat. I just showed up in the. When did Maggie send that message?
Maybe Maggie sent it before we had Restream open.
Oh, yeah. She sent it at 12:15 p.m.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Normally YouTube removes it, though. Okay. That's weird. All right. We'll go with it. Whatever.
I have got a wiener under the laptop who is already dreaming. So be warned, you'll hear snuffles and grunts in her sleep.
Stephanie is somewhere. I'm surprised she's not on my lap again, because this is a heated blanket, and she has learned it warms her, so she will get the warmth and then she'll disappear. She'll get the warmth and then she'll disappear.
Yep.
I did get, was it Thursday I did that? Or yesterday? Well, the other day. I got our stream for the Under 1K subathon scheduled. So we are scheduled.
Thank you.
So I was like, I need to make sure that Gloria ends up in the correct chat. Because, like, when I've scheduled more than one at a time before, I think you've gone into the wrong one. Because you went to the top one.
Yes. That's what I do.
So I was like, so I was trying to make sure that this one was on top. Because I actually pre-scheduled the stream on Sunday, I think.
I feel like at some point you're just going to label the stream Glory ! And then or something. I'm like, it would just be the world's most esoteric.
Too bad I can't, like.
Or you put in like an arrow emoji or a star emoji. Is like, oh, it's the one with the star. Okay. Like, no, you cannot depend on Sleepy Glory to make good choices. You cannot.
Well, the one thing I do like about Restream is it puts the one you've been in last, the studio you were in last, at the top. So I actually exited this and then re-entered it to make sure it ended up on top.
Yes.
That's how I do that. But that only works if I'm absolutely here. Also, did we decide to take the last Saturday off?
I do whatever you tell me.
We talked about it so that we were guaranteed a Saturday off, even though I will probably still do something, but probably earlier in the day.
Yeah. You just tell me what to do, and if you don't say anything, I will freaking show up. So
we will not be here next Saturday. We're taking the last Saturday of the month off.
cool.
And then if you want to sleep, you can sleep. If you want to, I don't know, do something else, you can. Go be a baking fiend. Which you have randomly done in the middle of the
That's what
night.
storms do to me.
I mean, that's fair.
It's like I, go nesting hard.
Yeah.
I mean, if this weather continues, it's not going to be long before I just go ahead and make chicken and dumplings or something. Like,
Oh, hemp update, by the way. Let me refresh it again because it could have changed since I checked it. Okay, it has not changed. -4 with a real feel of -6. Earlier, the real feel was 0 when I talked to you, Glory. It is now -6 for real feel.
wow.
So, it's cold. Not as cold as this morning, though.
It has currently warmed up. It's gone from 45 degrees down up to 48 right now.
Well, I'm cold in the basement that we heat the house through. You know what's fun? Not.
I am in the yellow part right now, so I can hear the rain.
Hey, where'd you go? Are you down there still? I think she ran away from me. Better she went to one of her hiding spots. I want y'all to know I refuse to put socks on. I hate socks so much. If I can be barefoot, I will. Are you okay? Don't eat so fast.
But yeah, look at Missouri.
Well, sucks for them.
Yep. Yeah, it's actually supposed to warm up tonight. So let's see. Where will we get? We will get up to 65 degrees at 5 a.m.
So lucky.
But so at 5 a.m., 65 degrees. At 5 p.m., 37 degrees.
Yeah,
At
that's
6
right.
p.m., 34. And by 5 a.m. on Monday, 23 degrees with 11-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, they're talking about we could have 10-degree wind chills, which is not good here.
Y'all don't have anything for that.
Mm-mm.
We actually had because we heat the whole house through the other room, which is why I no longer sleep in that room because it was like 90 degrees in there, and I'm heat sensitive now.
Yeah.
I didn't used to be so heat sensitive, by the way, and now I definitely am. I think it's like a side effect of one, my ulcerative colitis, but also the medications I've been on has resulted in me being more heat sensitive.
Yeah, several of the medications I'm on make me heat sensitive, and so. Yeah.
So I think I'm becoming less heat sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's evening out, but it might be the new medication that I started in December, I think, or was it November? Was my first dose?
I want to say November
Because I spent an entire month fighting to get my medication.
It was like a saga, so even I'm not sure.
It was like a 3-week saga.
Yeah, it was.
Oh no, it was my first dose was in October, I think. Because it was supposed to get delivered in September. My insurance changed in October. So I was hoping I would have the medication before my insurance changed. So if we had to do the fight again, yeah, it was a whole situation. There's absolutely no. You know not to play with cords. We're working on that. Your grandmother, your grandkitty. Oh my god. So I babysat at my sister's house on Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grandmother, her grandkitty. I look over and like, chew yourself. She is trying to chew on the cord to the vacuum that is plugged in.
Oh no. That is not good.
She just looks at me like, I didn't what? I didn't do
It was
anything.
just chewy. So delightfully chewy.
I'm like, you're just like your son. Your granddaughter. Because Hephaestus used to try and chew on cords. And then mommy yelled at him too many times. And now he's like, I won't chew on them, but I'll play with them.
Lily likes to find chewable silicone products,
Yeah.
and the cats and the dog will chew on them and play with them and chew on them and play soccer with them and then chew on them again. And it's a whole
Rude.
lot.
That was a tangent.
And then they're upset that I take it away from them, and I'm like, stop chewing plastic.
Hephaestus likes to lick plastic. Like the bags that the lettuce were in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just hear crinkling of the plastic and I'll look over and he's just like, stop
Well, if we're going to talk about
looking at it.
licking inappropriate things, there's a video I could send you of Lily in the bathroom, which is why I sent the video to Tom with the comment, you cannot convince me this dog was not a lesbian in another life. Because nobody licks carpet like that who's not familiar. It was very, wow, she's real comfortable doing this. She really knows how to lick this carpet on the rug.
I just got the Persephone leaping out of my arm on the YouTube side. I'm like, oh, she really did.
But yeah. But you just see me warned, I was using the bathroom and then there I am opening my camera up. So it's kind of obvious where I am. And you can see my knee for a moment.
Hephaestus will go into the bathroom with me. So Sassy will not, because of, I had to give her like multiple baths in one day. She will not go in the bathroom. She will not go near the bathroom if I walk near it. She's like, no, F you. Persephone, who was a witness to this, is like, no, thank you. For the most part. She did follow me in the one day. And it's because she was trying to not get pet. I think it was
I have zero privacy in that bathroom. There I sent
it. Since I got Persephone, will get upset with me if he can't go into the bathroom with me in the evening. Like, I'll like be headed towards the bathroom and like the first time I did it and I shut the door and he was like, ah. So I had to open. I was like, yes. Then he walks right. I'm like, you have never done this before. Hello?
No, like I will, especially first thing when I get up, like the MS-DOS is still booting up at that point. So let me be honest, I linger in the bathroom because I'm still waking up. And I will end up entirely surrounded by furry babies, all just vibing. And it's weird. It's like they're all sitting on their favorite surfaces, not necessarily staring at me, but like they can see me out of their peripheral vision.
Hephaestus will stick his head behind stuff because he wants to give me privacy.
But
Just
again,
like
it's
I
still
can't
like
like if I pull the curtain back or from the sunroom and he's going potty,
Mhm.
he'll be like, "Excuse you."
Excuse
Or if
me,
I
ma'am.
walk out there and he's going potty in the litter box that's out there, he'll be like, "Meow." Like,
Right.
excuse you, privacy.
No, I get no privacy. If I go into that bathroom for any reason, even just to brush my teeth, I have to have a full escort. Everybody's there.
Do you
They
want
might
hot?
like go nibble some food or drink some water to pretend they had a reason for coming in,
You
but
want
it is merely a ruse. It's very clearly a ruse. They are watching me the whole time, and I'm like, this is not a spectator sport.
to pick up?
I just want you to know. I have not had privacy since we got Leia. And now I get even less because I get a whole audience now. All three of them, if they're all in the house, they're all in the bathroom with me. No matter what I am doing or how long it takes. Except Lily will sometimes get tired of me and she would go sit in the hallway. Like it's not spell related. She's just like, I see you playing your game and I can't. But I got a look from Lily the other day that really the moment she looked at me, it was like, be so for real. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And then she got into on the couch. She just jumped on the couch and was like, I'm going to bed now. I cannot deal with you. And she did not even follow me in with my dinner when I went to go eat. Like, no, no, you were not for real. I'm not to be judged by these bitches.
She decided she wanted the warmth.
Yep. Because Tootsies are cold.
Oh, are you gonna go after your brother now? Okay. She's like, I'm warm now. Because I like laid it over her as well,
Mm-hmm.
so she was burritoed warm.
She was in a little sandwich, yeah.
Yeah.
So, shall we go ahead and do our first sprinty sprint?
Yeah. You two are menaces.
Yeah, but they're your menaces.
They are. Those two are actually my menaces. That one's not. She thinks she's.
There we go. All right. Good luck, everybody. We'll see y'all on the flip side. Beep-a-da-beep. 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 Boo-ba-da-boo. Boo-ba-da-boo-ba-doo. Boo-ba-da-boo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, it looks like a lot
Hello.
happened during that sprint.
We gained again.
Yes, we did. And the Goose Rider stopped by. Hello. And someone redeemed something.
Yeah, it was a check-in.
A chicken.
A check-in.
Oh. I was like, how do you redeem a chicken? Tell me more.
I do have in Stardew Valley specific redeems where you can have one of the farm animals named after you.
Oh, nice.
Carrie has one. I think you have a chicken.
And
Uh,
is also
it's either a
stopped by.
chicken or one of the cows.
What's up? Hope you are well. Good luck on your stream. We'll be lurking. All right. Lurk, lurk, lurk.
I
started working on
got my mom's laundry.
Mm-hmm.
I took it upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm crocheting.
Very nice. Kat, did you see that I finished acknowledgements?
No, I did not. Cool. I'll be honest. I've been so cold yesterday and today. I'm like, nothing is getting done. I've tried to, and they're like, no, I can't. I just can't. I just want to curl up.
I don't blame you. Oh my gosh. The temperatures we've got here seem balmy compared to...
Tom questioned the fact that I printed out the acknowledgements to read them out loud to him, and he questioned the fact they're like 5 or 6 pages long. But I explained why at the beginning of the acknowledgements. Because there's something that really ticks me off about a lot of people's acknowledgements. Like, they may only acknowledge, like their editor and like one person. And I now know that is definitely not giving credit where credit is due. Because it takes a village to get a book published. Even when you're doing indie publishing, it took a lot of people along the way to get that person to where they are, where that book was publishable. And I wanted to make a point of that. So I essentially wrote a short essay about that and how it ticks me off that fledgling artists are misled, that like somehow genius exists in a bubble, and when they come out of their room, they are met by a publishing team ready to make their manuscript into a sellable product. And that pisses me off. And so I wanted to illustrate all the people who were instrumental in this book becoming a thing, all the way back to middle school. And I also acknowledge that not everybody is listed here. And I talked about like 2 smaller stories in my essay about people who, were not directly, mostly because I didn't know their names or didn't remember them anymore. Didn't remember their names anymore. But that there's a lot of people, and that it's a harmful myth that artists just pop out of the world fully formed and ready to be celebrated. And that is not how it works. It takes a freaking village of people over many years for that person to have a product. And yeah, it's really a beef of mine.
Including a collection of friends that are just like, hey, you're doing this.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, Kat's going to be upset about what I said about Kat. I know her.
I might have glanced at it and then I cried.
Yeah. Okay.
the other day when you were working on it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you added, like, if you changed.
Yeah.
That's good.
Carrie's in there too, and so is Megan. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you thought you were going to be free, Carrie. Psych. That's right. Nobody gets away invisible. So yeah, there's the reason why it's so long. Because like not only do I list the people, but I also list why. Because I also think that's important to really give a more accurate illustration to other artists, other creatives about all the contributions, and these do need to be acknowledged. And let us not perpetuate this harmful myth any further. And so after I read it all to him, Tom was like, yep. And I was like, do you have notes? I printed it out so you could like write your notes. And he's like, I do not actually have any right now, which is shocking that my sassy brother had no notes at that point.
That is shocking.
I know. He's always got something to say. But yeah, like, no, he was, because, he's been there. In fact, the only thing he questioned was me talking about my sister. But that was because he wasn't there for a lot of my interactions with her when we were younger. It used to be something that she and I did where I would read her my poetry with my bedroom door closed. So he wasn't privy to that. And once I explained what happened, he was like, oh, then that is fair. You should keep that in. Like, yeah, that was literally his only question. So he had no notes, y'all. And I even mentioned him. And he still had no notes. When I can write my brother into silence, ha 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 ha. I meant what I said in the acknowledgments, Kat. I hope you don't hate it.
Gloria, I've cried enough this week.
Okay. It's not necessarily in any particular order, though. So if you did want to rearrange the order, that's fine. Like you could, like I actually don't have an opinion about that.
Alphabetical?
Yeah, like alphabetical or chronological or by weight of contribution or what. Like, I have no opinion. I don't care. They're in no particular order. They're just there.
Okay. I kind of want your post or your video essay of like why your acknowledgments have been lying to you.
Yes, because like I've been I guess I'm one of the few people
had that part in yet.
Yeah, I guess I'm one of the few people who reads acknowledgments in books. But since I was in elementary school, I knew I would one day be a writer because so many adults told me, "Oh, you're going to be a writer. You're going to be a storyteller. You're going to be published. At some point, you're not going to die before you do this." Like, and with so many people telling me with such certainty, I was like, "Well, it must be true. They've got more life experience than me." And so I truly tried to study writer culture, what writers say, what they say is important, like to really better understand it, because in many ways I felt very isolated growing up as far as like not in the mainstream culture. And so, yeah, one of the things I always did, particularly with books I liked, is go to the back and read the acknowledgement section because I was curious, like, who contributed to this? How did they contribute? What did this writer need from other people for this to be so, since I like this book?
Yeah.
I was curious, and I still do it. Like, mostly out of habit now, but I'm still always curious. And it is like some people do actually acknowledge, and I've seen like multi-page acknowledgments in some books. And they're usually women, but men.
I don't think I even put an acknowledgement.
They
I put
are
a dedication.
like, yeah, they. I've seen books without any acknowledgments at all, and I'm like, are you trying to tell me you just walked out of the room with this manuscript and it just magically turned into a book? How did this work? These kind of books are usually like a group project to some degree or another, because you need an editor and often a publisher. You need other people to help, a marketing team even.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're not like acknowledging any of them.
Or like
What
as
about
an indie, like a street team,
Mhm.
or
But yeah, like I've now read so many acknowledgments or lack thereof in so many books, hundreds of books, thousands, if not thousands of books I've read in my life. And I now have opinions about the acknowledgments page. And I've also heard from fledgling writers, like, oh, who believe this myth that you work in your little room in your bubble, and then you come out and you take the first people interested, and it immediately you find the people who are interested in publishing your work within a year. Otherwise, if you don't, it must mean you're not any good and you should give up. And I've heard from people who gave up, and their manuscript, they like have 5 manuscripts and they're all in their closet because they did that, 10, 15, 20 years ago, and couldn't find any publisher, couldn't find any agent, couldn't find even necessarily an editor they could afford or who was available within the next 5 years. And we're like, well, I guess it's just not meant to be. And yeah, I do talk about this. It's like I have opinions about the people who shelve their dreams because they've been misled by this myth about what it's supposed to be. And if it's not that, then it means something about you as the creative, not the world at large.
that is one thing I do like about AuthorTube. If you're now getting to hear like more of the stories, like, no, this isn't how it works for everyone. Like there's this mythological version of the author.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's like 100+ actual authors who some people are like, I wrote this book over 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Or I wrote this book in a month. And then I managed to edit it. And then like it might not have been properly edited, but somehow it became a bestseller. Like you get the entire ends of the spectrum.
Oh, like, let me tell you, with The Trouble with Angels, there will be a much lengthier acknowledgement of Tom in there because he worked as my developmental editor for like 15 flipping years on that story.
You should start on your acknowledgments. You're gonna be so long.
Turn on it now, get ahead of the curve, Glory. Versus like my poetry, he didn't help as much, but he's still acknowledged because he prevented me from dying. The Herculean task he accomplished as a man, which is even rare because that's one of the reasons women who get sepsis have such a high mortality rate, higher than men by double-digit percentages, is because they are not getting support at home during their recovery. I just saw a study done about women recovering from heart attacks versus men recovering from heart attacks. Women are so much more likely to die months after having a heart attack than men. Men are more likely, if they're going to die like essentially in the hospital, during the initial attack. But women have a higher mortality rate for heart attacks than men. And it's not just because early detection is difficult because the symptoms are different. It's because, are you ready? This statistic hurts me. Men who've experienced a heart attack do not return to domestic labor, like any kind of housekeeping or anything, for 5 to 6 weeks after their heart attack on average. Would you like to guess what is the average for women after a heart attack?
Is it a day?
It is measured in days instead of weeks. Yes.
Oh wow, I was gonna say like a week.
5 days. 5 fucking days. I'm sorry for cursing, but it deserves cursing. 5 days.
Yeah.
Women on average. So yes, there are women who return to domestic labor on the first day out of the hospital. But the average for women is 5 days before they return to domestic labor. And that is the researchers were crediting that as the number one reason women are more likely to die in the months following a heart attack, because they never truly rest enough to recover. Like, yikes. And there was Tom. I came out of the hospital and he's like, you don't need to do anything but rest and eat and manage your, insulin and stuff. You just need to focus on that. And that was like, he held to that for the first year entirely. And like about 8-9 months after I got out of the hospital, I was thinking of doing a little exercise. He's like, what kind of exercise? Like, he was very guarded. And I was like, well, I just wanted to walk a little because, like, I've got a little bit more energy and I'm not getting as tired as fast just walking, like, to the bathroom, to the kitchen. And he was like, I don't think you should even be walking out on the road. And I was like, well, where can I walk if I can't walk outside? He's like, I'm concerned you're going to fall because your balance is still not that great, which is true. Was true at the time. He's like, what if you just did circuits around the living room and kitchen? And I was like, okay, I'll do that. Because again, like, I knew even if I tripped or something, or if my balance was off, there's all these soft spots that I could just kind of lean onto the couch or steady myself by the stove on the handle. I knew, all right, that's wise. But he was like, no, you're not going outside where you could trip and fall and you would be there for who knows how long when I'm not home. No. You are not pushing yourself. Absolutely not. He was very protective of, you got to go slow. You nearly died. And if he hadn't been so guarded and protective, I probably would have overdone myself because as the eldest daughter, I do suffer from eldest daughter syndrome. So yeah, he was instrumental in me making it past the 5-year mark. Like, his guidance, his like attention to detail, and then him researching all this nutrition stuff, both for him and myself, of like how to improve my health as well as his. Like, it was so helpful but he wasn't ever like, you have to do this. He was just like, I'm just giving you more information. And yeah, it was, when you're ready to hold this new nutritional knowledge into your lifestyle, please do that because I would love you to live longer. That attitude, he is the reason I survived, because my thinking was kind of stinking back then. It was before I had done the emotional healing journey work to address my eldest daughter issues. So, yeah, he deserves to be credited as accomplishing the Herculean task of keeping me alive, despite my best efforts. But yeah, for Trouble with Angels, that's his fault as a developmental editor. Him, like, constantly 15 years, more than 15 years of him finding me information, mythology, lore, folklore, going on those research tangents himself. As a developmental editor, he definitely deserves to be acknowledged.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi, Maggie. It is funny to me, though, which people have essentially lobbied for me to work on which stories. Like, Kat is the reason I did Boarding School Murder Mystery.
I am.
Like, that kind of enthusiasm wakes me up. It, like, makes me take notice.
I have not read it. And I'm being honest about that. I'm not hiding the fact that I didn't.
No, I know you did.
That.
But let's be honest. I know in my heart that part of you is waiting to like finish the second season so you can just like literally immerse yourself and binge the whole book. I know you.
And
you are such a binger.
So it is how you talked about it. I was like, this is what middle school, early high school Kat read.
Yeah.
And at that time, like until I got to college, I would binge read everything.
Mhm.
Like, I would read series in a day
Yeah.
to 2 days.
I was like that at that similar age too, where I was just binge
And
reading.
so I have to get into a certain headspace. I'm like, I know this is one of those things that I'm going to want to like kind of weirdly tweak my brain into that kind of state.
Mhm.
And like, so I think that's part of why I haven't read it.
Yeah. No, I get it, as I said.
And then also sometimes my brain just flips into that, like, I need to binge read this.
Mhm.
So, but like, yeah, that the reason I was such an advocate for it is I was like, this sounds like something that younger Cat wanted to read.
Yeah.
Like, this sounds like
Exactly, and
something
that's a
I would
good
want.
reason. That's an excellent reason to, like, be enthusiastic about, a story. And that was why I then prioritized it, was I saw your enthusiasm and was like, that's enough. Okay, I'll definitely do this then.
I have a
Versus
media
yeah.
tracker in my bullet journal, and I'm like, how do I categorize when I finished one of Glory's stories? Is it a podcast? Is it an audiobook?
It's all the
Audiobook.
things.
It's an audiobook in podcast format.
Yep. Yep. But like, I was surprised recently while chatting with Tom that the story that he was enthusiastic about, that I have not started yet, is the accidental mail order bride story. And I hadn't thought about it honestly in over a year. And I was like, oh yeah, I could work on that. Because that is another Western where this cattle rancher she sends away and she was not communicating clearly in the ad and didn't say must be man. And so Molly shows up and they're like, oops, bisexual.
So
Yeah, and they fall in love afterwards while they're living together, since Molly's got nowhere to go. And the cattle rancher's like, I feel bad. You came all the way out here from Boston to start a new life. Well, at least you should stay. I could at least hire you as my housekeeper. And then they fall in love. Because of course they do. It's a romance.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, Boarding School Murder Mysteries is to a total of 642 downloads.
Yeah, and going. It's still
And
going pretty strong. It's still got pretty good numbers.
so your first episode view was 10.7.
Mm-hmm.
And that day it had 1. Today has had 2 downloads already. Like, you're still getting like at least a download a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 21st you had 16 downloads.
Like, it's quite spiky. Like, in the, it's still spiking quite a bit. Like, it, I believe December 30th was the last episode, and it still has had multiple spikes all of
Sadie
January.
Cohen is 718. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You spiked today.
Yeah, they're still going strong. Like,
you have 24 downloads today.
Mm-hmm.
Sadie Cohen.
People discovering.
So all time, that's not even your highest spike. Your highest spike was a couple days in a row, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like a couple days in a row, you had 32 downloads for Sadie
and
Cohen.
Like, that's pretty good considering I have not really promoted any of them. Like, I've done minimal promoting. Yeah. Like, they're just pretty much vibing on their own. They're doing pretty good.
Hello, Kitty?
At one point, Boarding School Murder Mystery during Chapter 7 was 86th on Apple Podcasts for Australia. Wow. And Australia does consume a lot of podcasts, apparently. So, yeah. Like, I got an email from some random person, like, did you know it's 86? And they sent me, like, a screenshot. I was like, I didn't even know anyone in Australia was listening. but cool.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Or your listeners.
Mm-hmm.
One day, Gloria's just gonna receive an EPUB and a PDF inbox and like, what is this? It's like, congratulations, it's here you go. Also, there might be a cover.
Hey. So
Every
yeah,
time there's a
that's
scene with that headmistress in
I
boarding
know.
school, I'm just like, what is her problem?
I know. And the worst part was she was real. She is not part of the fiction I made up. I was like, this is not normal, right? What is her problem? Yeah.
Like, she's got a chip on her shoulder.
To say the least, yes.
I am nowhere near done with this cardigan. I'm doing it bottom up. Yeah? What's up? You can jump up here?
I've been working on making a couple of shifts to go under my dresses when we go to Disney and just in general. And so I finished the top.
Ooh.
It took me so long to pin these sleeves at work today.
Mm-hmm.
I was sewing right up until it was time to lock the doors.
Nice.
But they came out so cute.
That's adorable.
And it comes, when I'm standing up, it comes about an inch and a half above my belly button. So
Okay.
the skirt that I cut out that I was thinking was going to be more around my knees is going to be a little bit higher. So it's going to be more of a tunic than a shift dress, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can wear shorts. I don't care what the bottom looks like. The neckline and the sleeves have to look pretty.
Did you want to warm up?
I even broke out the
Over Mama for a second.
shimmery embroidery thread,
Ooh, lovely.
which is a bitch, Nick. It's caught on everything.
Mm-hmm. Now you know why it's not more popular.
I have
Cover the
wasted
video.
so much of it because it gets tangled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in the end result, it looks very pretty. And to quote my niece, it makes the crow brain happy.
Nice. Yes, the crow brain. Shiny. Technically speaking, it's actually the Neanderthal part of each of us. Since Neanderthals actually like bred into Homo sapiens sapiens. It's
Neanderthals are probably why Homo sapiens even exist still.
Yeah. Neanderthals really liked shiny things and were the ones who actually we now think invented jewelry. And were the ones who passed on that knowledge of like hammering pieces of metal to wear to Homo sapiens sapiens. So, I mean, like Neanderthals also were the first ones to have death rites, like rules about how you bury a person, what you bury them with, and so on. Homo sapiens sapiens did not initially have that. They got that from Neanderthal interbreeding as well. So I really think of Neanderthals as the more, I would say, creative Homo sapien rather than just, what we are now. The Neanderthals were very much more focused on art and creativity and honestly, even afterlife.
Hi, baby.
Just like her little ears.
Aww. Hi, kitty baby.
She's looking at you. Look at this baby is.
Baby. Yeah. Yep.
Is Big Brother Sassy up there?
Probably.
Or
the cat game. Maggie says try rubbing it with a dryer sheet, Carrie. See if that helps to keep it from tangling up. Yeah.
What?
So
Are you gonna? Okay.
so yeah, that Tom was the one who made me think about, well, I definitely need to think about where to fit in the accidental mail order bride story.
Hello. What are you doing up there? You're not showing your face
But of
yet.
course, as y'all know, I love feedback of all kinds, particularly the emotional reactions. Oh, it feeds. Shall we go ahead and do our second sprinty sprint?
Sure.
And I will get back to drafting chapter 12. That is not the right button. This is the right button.
Too many tabs within the tab.
Girl, ain't that the truth, though? So many tabs.
Should clean that out.
All right. Good luck, everybody. We will see you on the flip side. Me better be. Me better be. Me better be. Moo, 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 moo. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How'd everybody sprint go?
I have a sleeping baby on my lap.
Ah.
Oh,
I've
I'm
been
trying not to poke myself with a pin and bleed all over white fabric.
a true child.
Thimble. Thimble.
I don't have any that fit my fingers. When I was
Oh, if you
pleating the
want,
skirt of the last dress that I made, I wrapped my fingers in band-aids.
no. Let me find my favorite version of thimble. You're going to love it, Carrie, and I promise it'll fit. Because if it fits my fingers, it'll fit yours. It has changed my life when I found it as a teenager.
Also, they make more than one type of thimble. So, like, and different sized thimbles. Because they make thimbles for, like, dudes.
The ones that I have don't fit my fingers. I have to remedy that, I know.
I can't crochet finger on my left, man. So instead of crocheting and watching the Mystery Files, I pet the cat and watched Mystery Files. It was an episode that was like the perfect length. I think this blanket is gonna end up on my bed to keep me warm tonight.
Nice.
Because it's at the far end of the basement, so it's not as it's significantly colder at that end of the basement because all of the heat's over here, and it's like going up this way.
I sent it to you on Discord, Carrie. I also sent it to Kat just because, So at least you know what you're looking for. I have been buying various versions of these since I was a teenager. The back is stretchy, and the leather is thin but very durable. So you can actually use it to help you push the needle through if you need to at a certain point. Like when you get like 4 layers and you're trying to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Haley set up a group with me and Tom for sewing stuff, and he mentioned that your mom used leather thimbles as well.
Yes. She stole mine. When she's like, why don't you use a metal thimble? And I'm like, because they don't work for me. And they sit on the tippy of my finger and they don't fit very well. And they slide around and then the needle slides around and I'm still sometimes going to get slashed on the side from the head of the needle. And I had found this leather one. The truth is, the original one I got, I think it was at Walmart. And it's gray leather rather than this brown leather. But otherwise, it's kind of the same with this kind of weird elastic, thick band on the back. But yeah, so she borrowed it and never returned it. And so I bought like several over the years.
Borrowed it.
Borrowed. Bunny ear borrow. Yeah. She's even, when she was alive, she would even every couple years go to my house, go through my sewing kit, take that, and then just leave me a note in the sewing kit. So I wouldn't know until I went to look, and there it's not there. And then I got to haul my little butt back to Walmart, buy another one. I mean, like, and back then, at least in the like 90s and 2000s, they were like, it was like $3 for it. Like, it was nothing, but she's like, you know where it is, and I don't. And just, okay, lady.
think this is the longest she has stayed on my lap in
Well,
months.
cold does that to people. But yeah, you definitely want to look for the ones with the elastic band on the back versus just leather. Because, like, again, in different weathers, our joints will be different sizes. And so you need that elastic to, like, kind of work no matter what.
Hmm.
Yeah, earlier I was telling my mom, I was like, it's not so much the cold that's quite the issue. I'm like, my joints ache so much right now because it's the bone seeping cold.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm like, it'd be different if it was a different.
I I had to take a couple layers off when I got home because our house is 74 degrees. But I had leggings, my compression socks, and jeans, and then a camisole underneath my sweater because I sit by the door.
Oh, bye. She left me.
And I had a little desktop space heater going too.
Wow.
Because I'm right by the front door at work.
Yeah.
My,
Makes sense.
when my mom left for work yesterday, she had her long sleeve work shirt on and then the short sleeve shirt over that. These shirts are identical, by the way. Like they have the exact same imagery on the front and back, except I think the long sleeve might have the words on the side. No, actually, I think they're just black sleeves. And then she also had the work vest and the work sweater all under her coat. Because the real feel was like in the negative 20s to 30s yesterday morning. So it was like
Mm-hmm.
negative something degrees, but it was like the higher negatives. So it's like I think -4 to -6. But the real feel was like -30
Mm.
yesterday. Whereas today it was -26 with the real feel of -22 this morning. Which is always a lovely combination.
I was gaming with Sarah on Thursday, and she said that in uh, where she lives around Chicago was like -35. That was the temp.
Unsubscribe. Nope. 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 Nope.
Really?
Nope. Nope. No. No. Thank you. Mm-mm. Pass.
Lily and I agree that the only time Megan should ever go to Michigan is July or August.
Right. Yeah, except Michigan's kind of swampy, so those mosquitoes are so huge. I'm not over it. I'm not over it. I've been traumatized and I carry this trauma with me. They're so big. It's like tiny
I've
birds landing on you. I swear hummingbirds weigh less. I've had a hummingbird land on me, not as heavy as Michigan mosquitoes.
I've been
They're
Those are
watching
birds.
Josh and Jace.
Those are birds.
where you're at.
I've been watching Josh and Jace, the two British guys that they're currently in the Upper Peninsula,
Yes, that's right. I've seen some of theirs.
and
They're
one of
not
their
they're not okay. They are absolutely not okay with the UP. They
mm-mm,
are traumatized. Uh and they're
they
not doing anything. But also, okay, in my defense, I'm like, it's called zip up your flippin' coat. What the hell, man? Stop talking about how cold it is and your jacket is unzipped. Like, zip it up. Stop. Why are you dumb?
I was laughing at the comments of their one video because they're like, okay, there's this big storm coming, and so we're gonna like hunker down in our hotel. and we got to get supplies. So they go to Walmart. Everybody in their comments was like, "You're in Michigan, you go to Meyer."
Right? Yeah, you go to Myers. Everybody knows that. What the hell? People not bright. Mm-mm.
Apparently, they stopped in my hometown and got Tasty Treat.
Nice.
Yes, the ice cream shop probably opened. Like they're like, oh yeah, we'll open. Because I remember in high school, so they close before Thanksgiving. I remember in high school they were open on my birthday again, and they're like, we don't open till spring. I'm like, we had a warm day, we had a warm week, so we decided to open.
It do be like that.
Y'all want some ice cream?
Yes,
It's like,
please.
yeah, thank you very much. Because like when I was in high school, I don't know if they still do this. Upperclassmen, so the juniors and seniors, were allowed to go off campus for lunch.
Mhm.
Mind you, half-hour lunch, not a lot of time.
Yeah.
So some kids would get their teachers would let them order food from
Mhm.
head, because Tasty Treat doesn't just have ice cream; they also have actual food. Like they actually have
Yeah,
really
they
good.
have burgers and stuff.
Yeah, they have actually really good burgers. And so kids would order their food, and then they'd get, like they just put it to Tasty Treat. Or they'd get one of their friends who was supposed to go to who didn't have CTC that day for some reason.
Mhm.
They'd give them their money and they'd go and pick it up because they had a longer lunch time, so they were able to do it. But yeah, like we'd go to the ice cream place for lunch, and when I say lunch, I mean we'd get ice cream if we had the time.
That's what teenagers live on.
I cannot judge because my lunch was either a soft pretzel or nachos and a bottle of pop in high school. So
I cannot tell you how many times when I was a teenager working at Cellular One in customer service, how often my breakfast or lunch was a Coke and a bag of Famous Amos mini chocolate chip cookies. Like I lost count. It was so many. It was like it's so filling. I'm happy. Like not proud of it. Would have been nice to have some protein, but
my
where would you
mom
have
would
to?
give me $5 a day for lunch. And because I had an hour and a half bus ride home, um, I would get the cheapest thing in the cafeteria, and then I would have money for a vending machine snack to hold
Mm-hmm.
me over until I got home at 4 o'clock.
My dad gave me $20 a week, and that was to either use at school or once I became a junior or senior and I went off campus. He's like, "You got to make it last the week."
I think it's a good skill to develop to learn how to budget your own money.
So like sometimes because we also had the grocery store across the street, and then less than zero- um
These naughty children.
hi Persephone. Like just slightly up the road from the grocery store. It was farther to go to Tasty Treat. So a lot of kids would go to McDonald's or to the grocery store. So I would go to the grocery store and I would get like um sometimes I would grab stuff that I knew I wouldn't eat all of. And then I would also grab like from the deli. Like cuz this was before my allergy got worse. So I didn't like I was able to eat other things. Like I wasn't affected by onion powder at all at that point.
Nice.
So I could like get the fried chicken. I could get like potato wedges and whatever I wanted. Like as long as it wasn't like fresh onion. And even like then I still had onion because I hadn't fully developed an allergy. It was like an intolerance.
Mm.
I just had to be careful about it or I'd get it like if I had too much I would get an upset stomach at that time. So like I would do that of get like extra stuff. Or I'd get something small because when I would get home at like 3:15, I would essentially have a meal. Because I was like the second person off my bus.
Nice.
I was the second person on the bus and the second person off the bus. Because really? You're not a vampire?
I was the last person off the bus because I live closest to the bus garage.
I was usually one of the last people off the bus.
My bus route changed several times. So, like, growing up, the majority of the time, up until I was like halfway through middle school, I was like the middle stop. Both ways. And then my driver changed, and I was still kind of middle-ish to the end, so then I was off earlier. But then my bus driver changed again, and that one was like a way different route. And then I was like, oh, I'm one of the first people on the bus. So we assumed I would be one of the last people off. And then I got home that day. I was like, Dad, I was the second person off the bus. Because that was not how we expected the bus route to go. Because all my other previous bus drivers, our route was just reversed. But my last bus route I had was like, you went in the circle, and then you just went in the same circle. You didn't do the reverse of the circle. It's weird. Ma'am, what are you doing?
I went to a Catholic high school and we would get bused by the public schools.
Mm.
It was that or paying an extra like $500 in tuition for my high school busing. And my parents were like, nah, we're still paying taxes to the school district. We're going to take advantage of it, even though our kids aren't students there. So, I would get taken to the public high school in the morning, catch another bus to go to my school, and then that same bus would take us all home at the end of the day. And because I live closest to the garage, like I said, I was the last one. So it would sometimes take an hour and a half to get home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of normal for us.
Why are you so aggressive? Why are you in a fighting mood now?
Because a cat.
Is it because Sassy was mean?
Shall we
No,
go
really.
ahead and end our stream? It has been over 2
Yes.
hours.
Why are you biting? You're also biting
Bye,
Bonnie.
everybody. We will see you when we see you, and it won't be next Saturday because